Hello guys, my name is Maria. I didn't understand how I suddenly found myself in a strange city with grey streets, and the people glaring at me with obvious hatred. Every time I approached someone asking for help, they would back away or scream, Get away, you daughter of the bloodthirsty. I didn't understand what I did to them. Why were they treating me like a monster? I was scared and alone. I reached an old abandoned library where I met a sad old man. He looked at me and then told, Maria, you are the last member of the bloodthirsty family, which brought destruction to this city. The old man told me that my family ruled the city hundreds of years ago, known for their oppression and murder. My great-great-grandfather was the most evil and buried his victims in a basement under the city. This basement became the source of a curse, where people remember the pain they caused. He added that the city will not be peaceful until the curse is broken, and you are the only one who can do that as you carry their blood. The old man gave me a key and mentioned an abandoned house in the middle of the city. It was terrifying, dusty, and full of spiders. I found a wooden door in the floor, opened it with the key, and entered a dark basement that reeked of death, where people remember the crimes of my ancestors. He added that the city will not know peace unless you break the curse with your blood. The old man gave me a key and told me about an abandoned house in the middle of the city. When I arrived, it was terrifying, dusty, and full of spiders. I found a wooden door in the floor, opened it with the key, and went into a dark, death-reeking basement. In the tomb, I saw bones and marked walls. One wall had an inscription that read, Blood does not lose by blood, but by regret and mercy. I knew I had to prove I was different from my ancestors. I sat in the middle of the tomb, closed my eyes, and began to pray. I asked every soul my family hurt for forgiveness, and I screamed, I am not like them. I felt peace for the first time. I woke up, the basement and dark past were gone. I stepped out of the house, and the city had changed. Inside the grave, I saw old bones and walls full of strange signs. On one of the walls, there was a riddle engraved with blood. You don't lose with blood, but with regret and mercy. I realized that I had to do something to prove that I was different from my ancestors. I sat in the middle of the grave. I closed my eyes and began to pray. I asked forgiveness from every soul that had suffered in my family's clothes, and I cried. I dressed like them. Suddenly the basement began to darken and a bright light filled the place. Felt peace for the first time when I woke up. The basement disappeared, and with it all traces of the dark past. I left the house for the city. It had changed. The people no longer glared at me with hatred. Instead, they were smiling. That's when I realized the curse was over. Even though it was all behind me, I decided to live my life to prove that I am different from my ancestors. I will not be a bloodthirsty Maria, but a Maria who carries the light and seeks the good.